What if yung anak nyo could retire before you? Not because he got lucky or di kaya naging millionaire siya overnight, but because he learned in his 20s what took us decades to figure out.
So last weekend, Brian was here and we had a money conversation with him. I don't consider this a lecture, but we didn't even tell him, buy some stocks, but it was a lesson, a financial lesson that we passed on to him na sana when we were his age, sana somebody taught us this, right? Growing up, school taught us math. Yung mga, what you call, mga debits, credits, assets, liabilities, even net worth. But no one taught us about money or wealth.
Nobody explained, how to go from earning a paycheck to having money work for you. And whatever we know today, we learned it ourselves.
And sometimes also through books or, I would say, even our mistakes.
And sometimes by simply being invested long enough, dun mo malalaman yung how wealth is being built.
Right.
And recently, Brian received some money. And before doing anything with the money or, try investing yung money, he came to us and asked for, some guidance. And kasi sabi niya, he didn't want to make the wrong decision.
So that simple question led to a bigger conversation. It was not about stocks, but it's about building wealth. So the first thing we talked about wasn't investing. It was about foundation.
Brian already has his emergency fund. So, ang ginawa na lang namin is we reiterated to him talaga kung ano yung emergency fund for.
Right.
Alam naman natin na emergency fund is not going to make you really money, di ba?
No.
It's there to protect your investments. Kasi nga, di ba, life happens.
Yeah. Let's say car breaks down or unexpected, let's say, expenses come up.
Pag may emergency fund ka, that's what you use pag sa mga situations na ganyan. So you don't have to tap into your investments. So anong sinabi natin sa kanya?
So before you focus on growing wealth, you need to protect what you're building first.
Oo.
Yan ang sinabi natin, di ba? Tapos we told Brian something that we wish that someone had told us years ago. That you are right now in the accumulation phase. Di ba? Nag-iipon.
Oo.
Yun.
Kasi when you're young, your biggest advantage is not how much money you have.
Yeah.
It's time. Diba? Parati sinasabi, time. Sabi namin sa kanya, your job is to accumulate assets. Every paycheck kasi is an opportunity.
Yeah,
It's
you can spend it today.
or you can buy a piece of your future.
Right.
Diba?
So one thing we kept reminding Brian was time is always on his side.
Kasi when you're in your 20s, hindi mo naman kailangan ng maraming pera talaga eh. Ang kailangan mo lang talaga is to be very consistent.
Right.
Kasi ang mangyayari is, time will do the heavy lifting.
Yeah. So sinabi namin, the earlier you start, the less money you will need to invest later. And that's the magic of compounding.
And honestly, sana nga, alam natin yun nung we were in our 20s, di ba? Kasi, nung panahon natin, ang alam lang natin is mga certificate of deposits, or di kaya paluwagan.
Yun. Yun iniisip ko.
Kayo ba, alam nyo ba yun sa Pilipinas?
Paluwagan.
Yun. Kayo, in your 20s, ano na ba kayo? Talagang well-versed na ba kayo sa investing? O katulad namin kayo na walang alam? Yung mga 20s talaga, wala talaga. And while we were having our conversation, Brian asked us a question that most new investors ask. Ang sabi niya, what if I invest today and if the market drops tomorrow?
Parang deja vu nga eh. That's exactly the same question that we asked years ago, no ba?
And syempre, ang sagot namin, sabi ni Warren Buffett, time in the market is more important than timing the market. Kasi nobody has like a crystal ball naman, di ba? Na para malaman mo what the market is gonna do like tomorrow or the next week or the following month. But history shows na yung mga patient investors are the ones who get rewarded.
Right.
So, if you're always invested, maririp mo yung benefit like, years later.
In the future,
In the future.
So anyway, we told Brian something and parang na-surprise siya kasi sinabi namin the best investors aren't necessarily the smartest.
Oo. They're the most disciplined.
Yun.
Discipline means na if you see like a scary headline, katulad ng kunyari may gera, tumaas ang oil.
Hindi ka ma-intimidate.
Oo.
Continue.
Continue ka pa rin. You stick to the plan.
Yep.
Diba? Yun ang discipline. Actually, being disciplined or consistent, it's actually boring eh. Kasi every time ganun eh. Walang pinagbago eh.
Oo,
diba?
yun nga eh.
Ayan. So, yung investing, yung consistent investing, it will be boring.
Oh, tama.
Boring. This time, boring is good. Boring means you are staying consistent.
So anyway, this might have been our favorite part of our conversation.
Sabi namin kay Brian, your job is not to impress other people with what you own. Kasi in social media, di ba, it's easy to compare yourself
With everyone else.
with everyone else.
Yeah.
Kasi yan, makikita nyo social
Totoo yun.
media, pinapakita nila yung mga kotse,
lahat.
yung mga bagong gadgets, mga designer everything.
Even mga expensive vacations.
Oo, yun.
Diba?
Oo.
Pina-flaunt nila yun eh.
But wealth usually grows quietly. Nobody sees yung mga automatic investments. Nobody sees like you being consistent.
Right.
That's exactly how wealth is built. Hindi broadcast.
And I believe that's better than flaunting, right?
Oo. Di ba nga a lot of yung mga mayayaman, hindi mo malalaman na, they live like simple lives.
Yeah. Yung pala.
Yung pala mga
Oo.
millionaire.
Yeah.
Di ba nga sa Philippines ganon?
Sino yun? Yung nag-display ng mga 40 vehicles?
Sa
Na-preso na yata yun.
O, sa DPWH,
Oh, yun,
di ba?
yun.
Yun, di ba?
Flaunt niya.
Flaunt.
Oh, anong nangyari? Ayun. Pwede niya mag-flaunt sa loob ng jail. So anyway, we told Brian, think further ahead. Kasi someday, you're gonna have a family or your children. And what you need to do is invest for them while it's still early.
Oo. Naalala ko tuloy ang parents ko na nung maliliit pa kami, talagang pinag-iipunan na kami. Actually, kahit ngayon na matatanda
So
na
smart,
kami,
yeah.
ang parents ko, ipon pa rin ng ipon. Tapos ngayon, ang pinag-iipunan na rin nila, yung mga apo.
I know.
Di ba? Mahilig mag-ipon.
Very touching, but that's smart, no?
Oo.
Talagang brought down sa mga generations.
Yun,
Protecting yun eh.
nakuha ko na
Galing
rin yun na, nag-ipon nga kahit pa konti-konti lang, diba? Especially pag may anak ka, invest ka na rin, yung sa mga 5 to 9, yung mga educational investment. Dito yun sa US, and wherever you are, it's the same thing eh.
Yeah.
It's the same principle. So, mag-ipon ka, for their education and for their future, diba? Kasi by doing this, it's gonna be giving them a head start.
Yes.
Na I wish na, some people had the chance to do it also.
So the last thing we told Brian surprised him.
Sabi namin, it's not too early to plan for your retirement. Kasi yung mga younger generation, ang mindset nila, ang tagal pa ng retirement, di ba? So, wala. Tsaka na.
Kasi retirement isn't something that you plan for when you're 55. But it's, yung accumulation of financial decisions you make throughout your lifetime.
Oo. Kaya when you start early, yung being consistent, minsan hindi mo na mararamdaman yun eh, na you're saving for your retirement na, di ba? If you just put aside para sa IRA mo, 401, or mga Roth IRA, you're actually planning for your retirement.
Yeah, that's it.
Di ba?
So before we ended the conversation with Brian, sinabi namin sa kanya,
don't spend your whole life waiting to live. You have to travel, make memories.
Yeah.
Ano pa bang dapat, live your life, sabi namin. Kasi kung ipon lang siya ng ipon, mapapagod ka rin mag-ipon di ba? Na he has to enjoy life.
Normal life, yeah.
Oo.
Yung enjoy.
But at the same time, sabi namin, save for rainy days, invest consistently, and build options for yourself.
Kasi wealth isn't about having the most money.
It's about having the freedom to choose the life that you want to live. And kahit hindi ka naman ganun kayaman, basta gusto mo yung buhay mo, magiging masaya ka.
And hopefully, he could retire earlier than us.
Oo, yun yung goal.
Yun.
Kayo, have you ever had like a conversation with your kids o di kaya mga grandchildren about yung mga, money talks, diba?
Yeah. Kasi kids nowadays, they're just, think about a lot, social media.
Oo.
Yeah,
I mean, not everyone,
No,
pero...
but out there, majority, they think about that and, mga cars or anything like that. But they never really thought about investments or their future.
Yeah. And I think it's really good, like, to discuss this,
Once in a while, at least, alam nila na, in the future, eventually when they get older, you know what? My parents actually told us, discussed about this, and we're aware of it. So maybe it's time now that they can, start something. Yeah.
And by doing this, I think, it's a gift that we can give our son.
Yeah. And that's, like they say, education, no one can take that away from you. That's something that you instill in yourself. The same thing, when we convey this to him, he will always cherish that, and that's knowledge for him and his future wife and family.
Yeah. Kasi school teaches them yung basic,
Yeah,
yung
basic
foundation. Pero yung actual,
Execution.
to live it,
Yeah, live it.
execution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iba na
Kasi
yan.
we live, experience yung tinuturo namin.
But talagang, sayang, no? If somebody taught us this when we're younger. Yeah, talagang wala. Hindi naman nagsisi. Hindi kami nagsisi, but it could have been better.
So, yun lang. That's it for today. So, we hope na you enjoyed the topic today. And maraming salamat mga senyoritos, senyoritas for joining us. And kita-kita tayo ulit on our next vlog. Bye!